Okay. So today we have exercise 17, another measuring perspective, another method, okay? The parallel perspective. Now, in the past two classes, we talked about method A, method B. They were suitable, very accurate methods for drawing in 2-point perspective. This method is for drawing in 1-point perspective, okay? So this is the major difference between them. When we start drawing, you will see it has some similarities with method B, but of course this is for 1-point perspective. So this method is used mostly by interior designers to draw rooms, open rooms, and to basically show what is inside the room, and the drawing to be correct in terms of measurements. Now, in all of these methods that are accurate, we need to have measurements, we need to have a scale. Now, because we are dealing now with a room, big room, that we need to draw on a small paper, we need a high scale. Our paper is so small, A3, okay, and we have to draw a very big room. So we need a high scale, and I choose 1 to 50. So I choose basically the measurement of the room to be the length 4 meters, width 4 meters, and height 3 meters, okay? But of course these measurements can change from room to room and whatever you're drawing. This is just as an example to show you the method of drawing, okay? So length, width, and height, we have 3 meters. The height and by 4 meters length and width. Now when we transfer these to centimeter, 4 meters equal 400 centimeters equal 8 centimeter to scale. So 400 divided by 50, 8. Okay? 300 divided by 56. So these are to scale measurements that we need to put on the paper. Scale 1 to 50. Okay? Each centimeter on our drawing will equal 50 centimeter or half a meter in reality. Okay? Okay. Now, so we need to start this method with a picture plane line. But it will be a little bit different, the construction, than in method B. So here, we don't have an edge, we don't have a corner, we have actually a face that we need to draw. So we need to draw the room as open face. Now, of course, it depends on where I will be standing. Like, do I stand exactly in the middle of the room and draw it, or to the side? Okay, this will depend on the station point location. So, the first thing we do is draw the picture plane line. We draw the room as a top view. In interior design, they call it the plan view. From the top, okay? Just like we did in method B, okay? So, the room is what? We said 8 centimeter according to scale by 8 by 8. The height will be 6, but the height later we will find out, okay? So, first of all, you draw the top view of the room, which is 8 by 8, and then inside you will draw all the details. All the objects inside. For example, you have tiles on the ground. Okay, depending on what measurement they are, you will draw that as a top view. Okay, all the tiles according their correct measurement to scale. If you have any objects, tables, any object, you will draw it as a top view. Even the lights. If you want to draw a light, you need to draw its correct measurement as a top view. Okay, and its placement. Where is it located? So, all the details need to be here as top views, okay? Later we will transfer here. Now, before we transfer any details, we transfer the major measurement of the room. So, first, of course, we need to have the station point. This is the point where you are located and drawing from. You are looking at the room. So, I'm using now for the station point this ruler, which is the 45 by 90. This has to be 90, as we know. Now, these 2 points, these 2 corners, need to touch these 2 lines, okay? So, wherever you put it, it needs to touch these 2 lines. This is important. Now, you can use this ruler In this case, what will happen? Touching these two lines, and of course it needs to be parallel to the picture plane line. So then these 2 points will be located in another location. Okay, one will be more far away, the other one closer. This depends, like, okay, now I'm standing in the middle, this ruler. Okay, if I'm standing, for example, from here, I want to draw the room, it's more useful to use this ruler. Now you can use it this way, or you can flip it and use it this way. However, in our drawing, to make things more clear and more simple for now, okay, we will put everything in the middle. So we will use this ruler, so the person standing looking at the room exactly in the middle, okay? Now, we take from this edge lines up, and we need to decide, we need to draw our room with the correct measurements, the ground measurements, which is 8, and the height, which is 6. Okay? Now, here we can see the height. Now, you need to be a little careful where you locate this. If you locate it too close to this line, sometimes you will not have enough space to complete the room. Okay? Now, the location of this and whether you have space or not will depend on the location of the horizon line. So I will show you here in a minute. I will show you an example of how this changes. Okay? Now the first thing, after we draw this object taken from these lines, okay, and the correct height, we have to draw the ground line. The ground line is the line that goes through the ground here. This will be, this is the ground line. And this is our room at the back. From there we have all the measurements that we will use to draw the rest of the room. Now we need to decide, the next line is the horizon line. Where should the horizon line be located? It can be located anywhere here. If it goes in the middle, fine. If it goes up, down, depends on your horizon line. So am I standing exactly in the middle, the height of my eye level? Or am I looking at the room like this? Or am I looking at it from up there? Okay, so it depends on your chosen horizon line, okay, that you want to do. Now for our case, for our drawing, we will put it exactly in the middle. Exactly in the middle, we'll pass through number 3, because this is 6 centimeters, so through number 3. Why we choose it in the middle? Just again to have everything as simple as possible. Later, when you understand the method, you can move the horizon up, down, and draw the room in different views. And I will show you how this will happen here also in a bit. So we will put the horizon here exactly in the middle. Okay, now, the vanishing point, where it will be located. The vanishing point, start from SP, wherever SP is located, straight line up. The point that intersects with the horizon line, this is the vanishing point. Now, in our case, the vanishing point is exactly in the middle of this, because that's how we chose the horizon line and the station point, okay? So, this is why this is in the middle. But if the horizon line go up, the vanishing point will be somewhere here or somewhere here, okay? If the station point is located in a different location, again, the vanishing point will be in a different location. So, now what will happen? Okay, now let's continue to draw the room, the major measurements of the room. Then I will show you what happens when we move the horizon up and down, just for a visual. Now, we need to do the following. From the vanishing point through each of these corners, we will draw straight lines until they intersect these two lines. Okay? So from each of these, from the vanishing point through the corner, and from here the same. Okay, now, when these points touch these two lines, we will finish them by drawing lines that connect them. Okay, so this is what I meant when I said that sometimes you don't have space. So when you draw this object here, which is the length and the height of the room, and you find the horizon line location, then from the vanishing point, which intersects with SP and the horizon line, you take these lines out. Sometimes this object will overlap. So you need to be careful about this space. Now let's see here, just as an example, if we put the horizon line in different locations, what will happen? So what if I put the horizon line not in the middle, but very close to the ground line? For example, here. Here I will put the horizon line. What will happen? So from SP, this line, so this one will be the vanishing point, okay? So from the vanishing point, when I take the line out through the corner, it will touch this line here. Okay, what if I put the horizon line up here? Okay, more closer to the top. What will happen? So this is here the horizon line. Now, what will happen? Again, from this point, this is the vanishing point now, through this edge. Now our point, the room where it finishes will be here. Okay? So this thing changes depending on where you put the horizon line. So make sure you have enough space. If you see after you put these lines there is not enough space, move your drawing up. Okay? And I want everybody to use the main measurements that I'm using. Now later what you put inside the room, the designs inside, the details, that's up to you. But you need to use this measurement 8 by 8 by 6, and you need to put the station point in the middle, the horizon line in the middle of this. So this construction must be the same for everyone, okay? Only the details inside, up to you. So, now we will continue. We always draw the detail, the main construction first. So for example, I will not continue until it's silence in the class. So we will draw first what we see in the main construction. So for example, the tiles on the floor, we will start with that. Then we will put objects, whatever, okay? The tiles are these square objects here. Now how do we know the location? Okay, so this is here the ground. So they have to be located in this area. In this area. How do I find them? if you understood method B, it's very easy to understand this method, because I need to find these points. You see these points here? Either from this side or from this side. Just one of them is enough, okay? So I will put from SP through each of these points lines until they intersect this line. After that, we will put straight lines up and see where they will intersect this line. Very similar to method B. So let me take from SP through each of these points where the tiles end, lines up. Then the next point, which is this one, okay, the same thing. Then the third point, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, and the seventh, and eighth. So now from all of these, wherever they touch the picture plane line, we will put straight lines up and see where they will intersect with this line. Okay, we put straight lines up, they intersect here, 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 okay, in these locations. Now, from these points, we don't need to find the other ones here, because from here we will take straight lines and they will tell us where the others are located. So, from here we will take straight line. Who is still talking? Now, what about these lines? We need also to know they are located exactly here at these points, okay, as you can see from the top view. So from each of these points, through the vanishing point, we will take lines until we see where they will intersect here. So from the vanishing point, through each of these points, we take lines now. So these now are complete, the tiles of the room. Now again, it depends, sometimes there are different measurements, okay? But in my case, I chose them to be 1 by 1 centimeter, which means 50 by 50 centimeter in reality. 1 by 1 centimeter on the drawing, or half a meter in reality, okay? Now these tiles also, when you, they can also help you locate certain objects, but you don't need, because any object we have here in the room, we can take each point from SP. For example, I want to find out the location of this point, from SP through this point on the line, then straight line up where it will intersect, okay? Just like in method B. Now, let us continue with what? Let us construct first, here we have a window, okay, a window, and here we have a door from here to here. there's actually two doors, one door like this opening, and here we have a window which is 4 centimeters. So from this point and this point we take up. So from here we take up, or we select it from this line. So this is here 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 1, 2. Here we put this up, and 1, 2 from here, and we put this up, okay? So the window is located in this location. But how much up from the ground and how much down from the ceiling, okay? Again, this is up to the design and up to, every window different. Now, if I put it 1 centimeter down from the ceiling, which is in reality 1 meter, okay? So from number 5, we put a line where it will intersect these two lines. This is the location. If I put it from the ground, how much did I decide to put it? 2? 2, yes, 2. So from 1, 2, we take a line here where it will intersect these. So this is the location of the windows. Now, we can add other details. For example, I don't want the window to be like a, to look like this. Let's divide it here in the middle. The middle is where? This is 2, 3, 4, 5, so 1.5. From 2, 1.5 until here, this is the middle of the window. Then I want to put on the top like a, like this kind of shape. So we know how to draw that. The circle, this is going to be half circle. So we have this line here, this point, and this point have to pass through the circle. The circle has to pass through them. Okay? Now if I'm drawing a totally round window, I'll just continue it, okay? But this is the shape I want. Okay. For example, okay? Just as an example. So we found its location through here, okay, the measurement, we put the lines up, we found these two lines. Then what is its height, okay, what is its height from the ground and what is its height from the ceiling, okay? This we need to identify, and then where these lines with these lines intersect, okay? And this is our window. Now the door, I put a door here in this location starting from here to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters. It's going to be, as I said, 2 doors next to each other. So this starts, how do I find the location? Well, from SP through this point, this is the point we want. This is the starting point. Then from SP through this point, which is this line, this is the end point, okay? Or if you already made the tiles, you can just count 1, 2 tile from here, 1, 2 tile from here. This is the start, and 1, 2 tiles from the back, okay? And this is the start, the end of the door. So now we put this up. And from this point up. Now, how do I know the height? Okay, from where the height? The height, you need to measure again from this object. So how much down from the ceiling does the door end? Again, this is, it depends. How much did I put here? 1. I put 1, okay, 1 centimeter on the drawing. So at number 5. So how do I know at number 5 here it's where it's going to be located? Well, we take the vanishing point. Where is the vanishing point? Here, okay? Vanishing point through number 5. Okay, where it will intersect this line and this line. This is the height of the door in this location, but 1 centimeter down or 1 meter down from the ceiling, okay? Sorry, 50 centimeter down from the ceiling, because each centimeter is 50 in reality. Now, this I said is going to be 2 doors divided in half. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. At number 2, I will put another line up. And of course, more and more details can be added to it. This is later, but we want to keep it simple to understand the method now. So this is here the location of the door from the vanishing point through number 5. Okay. Now, we have what else? We have here, this object here, which is kind of a cupboard with a certain measurements. So it's 2 by 3 and with a certain height. So 1, 2 means 1, 2. Or I can take to find, now this point, I know where it is located. It's located here because it's following this line and this is up, this is located. But this point where? From SP, you can do it like this, from SP through this point, where it's going to be touching this line here. From here, you put a straight line up, it's going to be located here. But because we have the tiles, I can just count. Okay, so 2 tiles, 2 tiles. Here it is, okay? Now, from here, we will put lines up. Line up from here, line up from here. And where does it end? At 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, or here, 1, 2, 3, the same thing. Or you can take, to find the location of this point, again, SP through this point, where it will touch this line, from here, straight line up, it will take you again to the same solution. Now, from this point and this point, lines up, and from here, line up, here we already put, and here. Now, the height of this. The height, how much should I put it? 1. Okay, 1 centimeter on the drawing. From where I will take 1 centimeter? From the back here, okay? So this is here 1 centimeter. If I need it from this side, you just take it from here. This is 1 centimeter. Now, 1 centimeter through the vanishing point. So vanishing point through number 1, okay, must pass to see where these 2 lines will be intersected. So from here through the vanishing point, so where these 2 lines will be intersected. Then from this line, you will put straight line to here. It will intersect this line here. Then it's very easy, the rest. From this point to the vanishing point. And these 2 points here will be also connected. So this is the height of our object. Now, if you want more details, like for example, this is just looking like a box, we want to put more details, we can put here, for example, division. So any detail you want to put here, you must first do it here. Okay, so I want divisions. Now these 2 divisions, where are they located? On this line and this line. So from here up, and from here up, and then from this one we will make a line here, and this we will connect a straight line, and then this down, and this down. So then we can add more details. We can have thicknesses here, for example, door handles, anything. If this is, for example, a table, it will have legs. But how do you draw the legs then? Because from the top, we don't see the legs. For example, this table, if you look at it from the top, you see this rectangle from the top view. But the legs, you still need to find them. So here, if it is a table that you're drawing, you need to draw, for example, the table with the correct measurements to scale, and then indicate the details. Like for example, here is one of the legs. Here is the other one. Here another. Here another. Okay? For example, any other details that we don't see, we need to draw it here. You need to draw it here. Then, from these points, you need to take up to the vanishing point from SP, find the lines that they will intersect to know exactly the location here. So, the details, everything must be here. Okay, not only the general stuff and the rest to do freehand. No freehand. All the details. If we have, for example, this here on the table, you have to also draw it, okay? Where is it located? What is its size? What is its measurement? To scale. Everything to scale. So what we have here, divided by 50. Every measurement on the table divided by 50. To put it correctly on the drawing. This is if you're drawing a table. for now, we keep it as simple as possible. So we have this object here that we made. Let me just darken it a little. Okay. Now, another thing here in the room. There is something here in the middle, and it's also a square. This is supposed to be some kind of a light that comes from the top. Anything that is on the ceiling, you also draw it as a top view with the scaled measurements. So in our classroom, we have these rectangular lights, okay? So if I was drawing the classroom, I would have to put all the rectangular lights, the measurement of this light divided by 50, and put it here, for example, okay? But in this case, we will leave it simple, just a square in the middle and something hanging from it. So it must be located, this object, somewhere here.
I have to go to bathroom.
Okay. So how do we find that? First of all, what is the measurement? Okay, this is 1, 2. 2 by 2 centimeter. 2 by 2 centimeters. So I will take, first of all, from here, 2 lines up, or I can immediately find them here. You see here? 2 centimeters, one from here, from the middle. So this one I will put up, these 2 lines, up, until we reach this line here. From here, let me put it again. And from this point up, until we reach this line. Now, from these 2 points, we will put through the vanishing point 2 lines, okay? So, VP through here, and VP through this point. So the light of 2 centimeters to scale is located somewhere here. But we know it's located on these lines, but where are these 2 lines of the square, okay? So we need to find its location here. So from the end of the room, 1, 2, 3 tiles, and from here, 1, 2, 3. That's if I'm counting the tiles. Or I can take from SP through this point, find the location here, and then where it will intersect. The same thing, okay? But because I have tiles, this is more easy. So this is 1, 2, 3. Here is the start point. And from here, 1, 2, 3, here. Now these 2 lines, we will take up, okay? We will take them up. Let me use this other color. So from this point up until the ceiling, okay? Until we reach this here. And from this point up until we reach the ceiling. Okay? So this point and this point. Now we will draw straight lines and see where they will intersect these 2 lines. So from here, we draw a straight line, and from here, okay, we draw another straight line. So, the location of this square is located on the ceiling in this location. But it has a thickness, it has a height, okay? It's not just a line on the ceiling, so it has a thickness. So what's the thickness? If I put it to keep it simple, okay? We don't want halves and quarters and these kind of things, but in reality you will have all of these small measurements to deal with. Now I will put it a full number, so 1 down. So it's 1 centimeter on the drawing down, so this is hanging down. So how do I know? Okay, these 2 lines, I know them, and these 2 lines, and it should have, as I said, something here hanging down, okay? So it's going to be like almost like a cube, but so how much this, how can I know, okay? From here, you see these 2 points where we found these 2 points? From here you will put down 1 or whatever, half, quarter, whatever is the measurement, down, and you will locate these 2 points. You see from here down 1, this point. From here down 1, this point. Then from the vanishing point through these points, we will see where it will intersect here and here. So from the vanishing point, what? Through these other 2 points. This goes through, and we will see where it will intersect these 2. And from the other side, the same thing. Okay, now, so these are a little bit too short. I need to put them more down until they touch. So from here until they touch this line, from here until they touch this line, here also till it touches the line, like here, and from here until it touches the line. So our object is looking something like this. And this is here, the hidden lines. Now this can become more complicated. This can, for example, have a thickness here. So you can have other details and other details, but any detail you put here, first you need to identify its location here, and then here, okay? So, because in your drawing, you'll be free to put whatever you want inside this room. The door can be placed anywhere you want. The windows, the sizes you can change. What is inside here, you can put tables, chairs, lamps, whatever you want, okay? But whatever I see here, I need to see it here as a top view correctly. And I need to understand how did you find their locations. Anyone deleting the construction lines, I consider it a copied drawing, okay? And you lose the marks. So just keep this in mind because I saw this happening. Every class I repeat, don't delete construction lines. Some students delete. So be careful not to do this. Okay? So, let me draw this a little more clear here to be visible. So here it was our door here placed. So basically this is our object. I didn't put a lot of details because the point is just for you to learn the major construction, okay, technique. And then you can experiment at home to add, to delete, whatever you want. Don't copy what I'm doing here. The only thing you must copy is the measurements. So everybody will have 8 by 8 centimeter room. The height of it 6 centimeter. Everybody, okay? And the station point to start at, here should be 90 degrees, and this is the 45, exactly in the middle. And the vanishing point must be exactly in the middle, so the horizon line goes through the middle of this, okay? So everybody start with that. After that, the details up to you. Don't copy what I'm doing here. You need to do something more beautiful. If you're not comfortable with the method, just choose simple objects to draw, but correct. And if you're comfortable, you can try more experiment to draw more complicated objects, okay? Of course, this affects the mark. Now, a student who put a lot of details in the drawing and they are drawn correctly will have a better mark than just a box or two, you know, in the drawing, and that's it, okay? So I would advise you to practice first and then to try to draw something a little more complex if you can. If you can't, well, then we can't do anything about it. And draw the homework on the A3 sheet, but portrait. I don't want any silly questions, someone asking you, okay, I'm drawing on the A3, I don't have space because I'm drawing landscape. Switch the paper, turn it portrait. As long as you have all the requirements on it, which is the border, the measurements are correct, everything correct, there is no problem. Portrait or landscape, okay? Any questions about this? So this is mostly to draw open interiors, okay? A method that's very useful. Questions? Any questions? Now, let me stop this.